You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons and Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 238, posted April 2020. Little Joys in Big Barovia.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. I'm your Dungeon Master, Tony Sindelar. Allow me to quickly introduce our characters in tonight's exciting episode. First off, it's Erica Ensign.
Hello, I am playing Brildish, a dwarven paladin with her trusty steed, Pony Cindelarnt.
Also here, Aline Sims.
Hello, just call me Imra and my amazing Mastiff Androdite.
My favorite druid, Micah Sargent.
Oh, it's the half-elf druid Elevor.
My favorite TV show.
My favorite Dan Warren.
A Warforged cleric cast in Onatar's Crucible who doesn't have a fun annual animal companion.
Not yet. And last but not least, it's Jane Ritt.
Playing Lena Dulina, the human rogue who doesn't have any companions.
Not yet.
Hey, what do we chop
Well,
liver?
I mean, yeah, you
Yes.
can think about
Yes,
all of
we
you. There's a robot guy who's been following you around for like 6 weeks. Previously,
Hello, I think that's me.
He's all right.
yes, previously on Total Party Kill, you are trapped in Barovia. You have befriended the son and daughter of the ex-burgermeister of Barovia, Little Barovia.
Little burger.
Small burger.
Everything
It's a very
is
small burger.
going according to plan. You have left the town of Barovia, Little Barovia, in search of the mysterious Madame Eva, who it has been told may be able to tell you about your future and perhaps offer you some wisdom in dealing with the devil. You fought some wolves last time, and you survived amazingly.
So did some of the
You
wolves.
left the main road and have journeyed here to the edge of Sarapool to interact with some Vistani.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lena-
I believe last time I described the Vistani encampment for you, but there's a bunch of colorful tents and wagons kind of parked in a circlish fashion around a big campfire. There's some Vistani who are a little bit different from your normal Barovian. They tend to be a little bit more colorful. They appear to be playing some music and eating a meal around a roaring campfire in the middle of this encampment. There's a bunch of horses drinking by the nice pool fed by the river on the edge of the encampment. Yeah, here you are.
Crucible looks delightful.
Hipsters.
I say to Lena, have you been here before? Do you know these people?
All of us know of them, although I don't interact with them especially often.
Irina will volunteer. I've never been here. This is as far as I've ever been from my home. I do not know much about the Vistani. The people in Barovia, Little Barovia, but probably also Big Barovia, they say unkind things about them, but I don't know. The people of Barovia can be very judgmental, both Big and
I've
Little Barovia.
noticed.
Elevor walks up and says, Father Dumbledore said that there would be somebody here who could help us named Madame Eva, and I think that it might be helpful, given your relationship with the father, if maybe you introduced our group and told them that the father sent us to look for Madame Eva.
You're saying this to Irina.
Yes.
She seems, I suppose, okay.
You're
And
totally game.
Irina, kind of, wanders over to the edge of the Vistani campsite, and they seem either oblivious or uninterested in the fact that you have shown up on the edge of their campsite. And she goes up. There's a man on the edge of the campsite who is he seems to be cooking, preparing food that other people are eating.
Little beard.
Yeah. Little beard.
Hat of some
kind
variety.
of a knit. Yeah, it's kind of like not quite at the right angle.
It's a hipster.
Yeah,
Jaunty.
he's got some strange kind of ocular devices on his face. And some
And is complaining about his coffee.
yeah. He's cold brewing.
That's kombucha. That's actually kombucha.
All right, guys, I don't know enough about hipsters to do this.
What do you know about vinyl?
Suspenders, plaid.
Oh, they're going strictly acoustic. It's a richer sound than vinyl.
Clove cigarettes.
Yeah. And he points Arena to a larger tent on the kind of far side of the campsite that I am pinging on your map right now, and says, "Yeah, you've been expected."
What?
Ooh.
That's unsettling.
Can someone do a record scratch, or does that not work in acoustic?
All of Vistani suddenly stop playing, and then they start again.
Cool. Thank you for
Good
that.
effect. Good effect. Yep.
So
Wow,
I
that's
guess I
kinda
would say
neat.
to Arena, like, thanks for taking the lead on that one. Let's head over to this. I think let's head over to this tent and talk to Madame Eva.
Might as
Agreed.
well.
Eva.
Crucible will say hello to every single person he pet. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi.
They all
Oh my
ignore
God.
him, presumably.
I won't do it quite as much as Crucible does.
You get
to
it.
some extent.
Crucible gets a variety of nods and high fives and fist bumps as he makes his way through
Sweet.
the Vistani crowd.
I got
They
a
seem-
fist bump, I think. I think that is what they call it. It was very refreshing.
They seem
Interesting word for it.
kind of excited to see visitors. So
Oh, they're nice.
they're
Right.
playing their music. They're having a grand old time, eating a nice lunch at the campsite. And you'll make your way over to Madame Eva's tent.
Why is
I
When are
tell
they
Lena-
going
Pony-
to turn on us?
Why
I
is
tell
Lena
Pony
all
to go
weird
get a
about these
drink.
people?
So Pony heads off to the river.
So you enter Madame Eva's tent.
It's a little
There's
jazzy.
a Vistani who's kind of parked by the door, and he waves you in.
Oh my God, let's do it.
Flames cast kind of a reddish glow over the interior of this tent. You can see kind of a low table covered in black velvet cloths. Glints of light seem to flash from various kind of glass objects kind of scattered around the chamber on little tables and shelves. And there's an elderly woman kind of hunched over in front of the table. There are 6 chairs waiting for you in front of the low table, and it looks like kind of a dish of water, perhaps for a dog.
Oh,
Nice.
Let
Okay.
me, I've got a picture of Madame Eva that I will share with you.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, it's great.
She's
So,
just-
Lit like a
lit
horror
from-
story flashlight. Yeah, from
Yeah.
below. It's never flattering.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like when you accidentally turn on your like front-facing camera.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep, that's what happened. That's what happened.
I don't know. Night mode looks
Um,
great. So
Yeah, so you assume to be Madame Eva kind of waves you in and says, please come in. I've been expecting you.
Wow.
Yeah,
How did you know
we-
we were coming?
I know things.
Oh,
The cards foretold it. You see that she's shuffling a deck of cards in her hands.
His
Ooh.
father, our
Donovich.
friend father, the father, told us that you knew things about others, that you didn't necessarily know things about yourself in terms of the future, but you had the gift of sight for others. And that is why we are here to see you. But I assume you already know that.
Well, parts of it. As you said, I can see where others are going, but I do not necessarily know my own future. But please, it is a good man you speak of. Perhaps, though, you should not use his name around here.
Do people here
Understood.
not like him?
You will find that people in Barovia can be not the most trusting.
Yeah. Everybody's grumpy. I know.
I find it not so dissimilar from other places I have been in my travels. Sad as a nature of people, but to be expected.
Well, I think I
Does
already
anyone
know the
understand
answer.
that word puzzle that he just said, or just me?
I think I know why you're here, but perhaps just to remind each other, why are you here?
We want to go home.
Yeah, exactly. As I told everyone during my stroll with Father, we discussed that you could potentially help us with what's going on here in Barovia, Big Barovia, and maybe knew about how we might be able to leave Barovia, Big Barovia, and also that you knew a little bit about the devil incarnate Strahd.
And also,
she spits on the ground.
Oh,
Please.
and I join her.
I think you have just spit on her floor.
Please do not use that name here among my people. It is an ill omen.
Understood.
We've also lost 3 companions as we've traveled and would really like to know what's going on. Why do people keep disappearing? And are they okay?
It is unclear why people find their way to Barovia. I don't think anyone chooses to come here.
Definitely not. No.
Some say they are brought here by the devil himself. Some, perhaps they are answering for crimes they've committed in this life or previous ones, but so far no one has ever left.
We left.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
we did. We don't know
tell
how
me
that
more.
worked either. Okay, well, first we ended up here in this spooky, foggy place, and then we went into this house that was terrible. And
Yes. Property values are an issue.
almost died because it was so bad.
Mhm.
And then I wasn't actually conscious when we left.
Huh.
But Imra was. I point to Imra.
So Imra, you were here in Barovia, Big Barovia.
Little Barovia.
Ah,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Little Barovia. And you left,
Yes.
and you came back.
We were transported by mists. I don't know what else to call it. We woke up, or we went to bed. We woke up, and there was a mist around us.
And by
Are
the
you
way,
sure
that's
you really
not a
left? Is it
euphemism.
possible that you had a dream, and then you told your friend Broldish about the dream?
No.
No.
That is not what happened.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Was there a bard in it? A lot of people tell me about dreams where they had a bard.
Oh dear.
My dreams would not have a bard. I do
I
not
got
dream
this.
of bards.
But there
pull out-
was a bard, wasn't there?
There was a bard.
I pull out the second axe, the magical axe of Durgeddon, and I say, "No,
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
certain that we were gone and back in our homeland because the wonderful smith Durgeddon created this axe, and we found it when we were searching through his ancient forge. I still have it. I wouldn't have gotten it if it was from a dream.
Well, most unusual. But it seems Barovia is not done with you.
I guess.
Oh, I see. So Barovia just really likes us.
Yes, it seems you've caught the devil's eye.
Oh, so the devil really likes us.
How lucky that I was able to find all of you then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been by myself.
Do you think it would be possible to convince him to send us home?
You could try. She doesn't
Just-
look like she believes it.
Yeah, Lena looks at you like,
No.
No.
Okay.
no.
I am prepared to do a reading for you that might guide you toward your confrontation with the devil if you are so interested.
I don't want to be guided toward a confrontation
Yeah,
with the
now
devil.
what is this about
I do.
being, why we're confronting? When did that happen?
The confrontation with the devil is inevitable if you wish to leave.
So does everybody eventually confront the devil? It's sort of like you're playing a board game.
Nobody else
and-
has left aside from
Or
me.
Sorta-
or his minions. Yes.
Oh,
They-
so
they
we
come
could
for
just
everyone
sort of
eventually.
opt out of the big guy, just go after one of the minions.
Well, when you say opt out, are you speaking about suicide?
No, not exactly.
So much player death in Barovia.
Yeah. So what you're saying is the only way that you think that we can get out of this place is if we fight the big baddie Bado himself.
If there was an easy way to get out of Barovia, no one would be here.
That's fair. That's fair and true.
I would still be interested in examining
Okay,
all the
well,
various
yeah.
architectural ruins and
One
interesting
person would be
cultures.
here.
Yeah, don't mind him. Hit them. It's anyway. So then, yeah, Father said that you'd be able to help us out. You said now you're going to help. Are you just giving us a map to know where we need to go to fight?
I
Big Daddy?
simply read what the cards tell me.
Do the cards
Okay.
have a map?
I
Maybe
don't
the cards
know yet.
have a map. I think the cards might have a map.
In a
don't think-
manner of
most
speaking, perhaps.
Interesting.
So you've seen the future. Who goes first?
But you must choose. She arranges 5 cards in kind of a cross in front of you, and says, each of these cards will tell you something differently. The first card will tell you about your enemy. and how you can learn more about him.
Oh my God, we're literally building our enemy. Wait,
Who
so
will
who's at the table? Who's doing the drawing?
All 5 of you are there. There are 5 chairs. There's a 6th chair for Arena, but she's an NPC, so.
She doesn't get a card.
And Madam Eva is there. She's laid out the cards. She's shuffling the rest of the deck as you chat amongst yourselves.
I would be interested to see this reading. It sounds like it could be potentially helpful.
Or harmful.
She taps on the first card, indicating which one it is, and waiting for you to for one of you to flip the card over.
Now wait, what happens if we just opt out here?
This isn't like you can't unsubscribe from a mailing
Lena
list.
flips the card.
Cool, I guess we're not doing that.
Friends, I am simply providing you with information that may help you. Your fate is already written. It's just simply a question of what you want to know about it.
Everything that we can, I should think.
All right, Lena has flipped over a card. Lena, you have flipped over the Priest, or the Master of Glyphs cards. And Madam Eva studies it. She says, "This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. There is a place that you will seek in the castle. Amid the ruins of a place of supplication, you will find more information." She sets the card aside. And you should now, if I did that correctly, be able to see one of the 5 cards on your screen.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You can actually see that?
Yep.
All
Looks
right.
like a priest.
Yes. It is a priest. The Master of Glyphs is one of the tarot cards she has flipped over. So, that was card 1.
What does the second card tell us?
Lena, you get a sense that probably you're not supposed to flip any more cards. She points to the top of the cross. The second card. This is an object that will be helpful to you. This tells of a powerful object for good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope. Something very rare in these lands in this time.
I look over at Crucible.
I believe that Onatar has guided me for this very moment. And Crucible reaches over and flips over the second card.
All right. She flips over a card. It is the Merchant, which is the 4 of coins. She spends a little bit of time looking at it, interpreting it. And she tells you, Crucible, seek a cask that once contained the finest wine, of which not a drop remains. And there you will find an important object.
As important as wine?
More
I think it's as important as wine.
Wow.
3 cards remain.
What does the third card tell us?
The third card is a card of power and strength.
Ooh.
It tells of a weapon of vengeance. A sword of sunlight.
Oh.
Sounds like Brildish's kind of car.
Well, I don't have any interest in this particular sword, but I am a fan of weapons, so I'm gonna, and of vengeance. I'm sworn to vengeance.
How do you feel
Swords
about sunlight?
are my favorite weapon.
Yeah, that's also true.
Sure, sunlight's great.
Lena-
I miss it. I miss it quite a lot being here. But I will reach over and flip the weapony card.
All right. It is the Conjurer. Madam Eva spends a little bit of time looking at it. Yes, the 9 of stars. I see a dead village, drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into the world. There you will find the weapon you seek.
Ruled by a mermaid. Named
Bad mermaid.
I ask Lena, does that sound like any place you know?
It sounds like every place I know.
Yes, that is what she says.
Is it?
No, she just stares into the middle distance, distracted by terrible memories.
All right. 2 cards remain. Madam Eva points to the 4th card at the bottom of the cross and says, "This card speaks to one who will aid you in your quest. an enemy of the devil. Seek them out and protect them from the devil's wrath, and you may gain an advantage in the fight to come.
I look at Elivor. You want to take this one, or should I?
Arms crossed.
All right, I'll flip it.
She flips over a card. It's the Tempter. I hear a wedding bell, or perhaps a death knell. It calls thee to a mountainside abbey, wherein you will find a woman who is more than the sum of her parts. One card remains at the center of the cross.
Everybody looks at Elivor.
Well, at first I say, well, what would the fifth card tell us?
The fifth card, the final card. This is where you will find the devil. This is where he waits for you.
Now, see, what do you mean waits for us? So he knows we're here?
He knows everything.
So, Mike, why is he after? Why there's all these other people that are here? You've got all your little friends outside. I don't understand why he wants us. What's so special about us?
I think we're pretty special.
I cannot speak to his
to
motivation, but there is something about new people in the land that seems to draw his attention, that seems to provoke his hunger.
We slayed many wolves, and you yourself told some of them to leave, and they did. You have skills and abilities far beyond most of the townspeople in big or little Barovia.
And
That's
I
fair.
think
Surely-
you are pretty swell.
Let me tell you that Castle Ravenloft, far up upon the hill, it is a labyrinth of the damned, haunted by many vile beings. You could spend weeks or months wandering through its many halls. If you were to seek the devil, this would tell you where to find him within the castle.
That sounds pretty valuable.
Aline, can you check your texts?
Mm-hmm.
This is good podcasting.
I don't know what's going on.
Do they have some sort of telepathic bond?
Yeah, what's going on?
No, okay, so I guess I could say this out loud. Elivor leans over and is whispering in Imra's ear.
Yeah.
And Imra looks at Elivor and says, "You've got to be kidding me."
I just look at you and I cross my arms again.
I don't even think that's possible, dude.
Okay, well then I lean over to Bruldish. Wait, Erica, I don't think I can text you. Do you have Slack open?
I do.
All right.
Madam
What
Eva
is
rolls her
happening?
eyes.
This is
so
most peculiar.
I lean over to Bruldish and I start whispering.
So Pony Cindelar pokes his nose into the tent and comes over and tries to like snuffle at the card in the middle of the table. Does it flip?
Sure. I feel like whenever Pony Cindelarn is present, I have no control over the story anymore.
He wanted Androdite too, but I don't know how Androdite would be able to do that.
Like I feel like Pony is tall enough and could
That's true.
use his little horsey lips
Pony,
to like
Pony Cindelarn moves up to the table and just kind of gives a heavy breath,
Ooh,
and
I
the
love
card
that.
just flips over. And Pony Cindelarn looks down at the card and nods, and then leaves the tent.
I give Pony a little tap on the way out, a little pat on the way out.
Madam Eva seems completely unfazed by this.
You just saw it
I
coming.
she knew that
Lena-
was going to happen.
Lena seems pretty phased by it.
Yeah.
Crucible says that is a well-trained pony.
Oh, he's not trained.
Madam Eva studies the card. It is a card that she says, this is the innocent. The devil dwells with the one whose blood sealed his doom. A brother of light, snuffed out too soon.
Oh, that one rhymed. I bet it's because of the pony.
Mm-hmm. And Madam Eva kind of swoops the cards away and adds them back to the deck and begins shuffling again.
Thank you very much. Do you have any personal advice on where we should go next or what we should possibly do? You seem very wise.
Make sure someone knows how you would like to be buried.
Oh my God.
Underground?
Noted.
Thanks.
What of our companions? What of our lost companions?
I cannot tell you. They may be stuck somewhere between here and wherever you came from. It's possible they are completely fine. It's possible they are stuck in eternal torment until you free them.
Yikes.
So by fighting the devil, we might be able to free our companions?
And yourselves.
Oh, right, because we're still sort of here.
You are stuck here.
So how come you haven't left?
This is my home. These are my people.
Now, see, this weird thing happened where I sort of like closed my eyes and then this sheet with a photo of you popped up, and it also included a little bit of information about you. And part of it said that these are not your people, but you were sort of like part of this group. So I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Meta gaming.
I'm just looking for clarification here. That's all. I just want to understand why no one has succeeded in taking on this devil incarnate before.
I think she is
Because
suggesting
they've
they
been
all die.
killed.
Yeah, I
Because
want to
none
learn
have
from their
been
mistakes.
successful.
I want to learn from their mistakes. How many people have come to you, Madam Ava, and then gone
Over
on
the
to try to
years?
fight? Yeah.
Hundreds, perhaps low thousands.
So why do you keep giving them their fortunes if you know that ultimately they're going to die? Why
I
did you
should-
give us ours today?
She's polite.
It's my way.
Okay.
Helps pass the time.
Oh,
You
I
have
got
to
it.
find the little joys here in Barovia. In Big Barovia.
There's no joy in Little Barovia.
Little joys in Big Barovia.
Mm.
So there's no further edge you can give us to sort of stop this cycle of essentially sending us off to our death and doom and destruction.
She
I
has
have
told us where
provided
to
you-
find a powerful weapon.
But it's
She
never
has-
worked before.
Yeah, but it wasn't us.
Perhaps no one else has ever found the weapon.
She turns to Elivor and says, I really believe in you.
How many times have you said that? A rare, like about a average count.
Let's say 17.
Okay, cool. Well, that makes me feel better. Out of the thousands that you've sent to their death,
I did not send them to their death. Their death is, I merely read your fate. I do not create it.
you kind of encouraged it, but okay. All
I
right.
read the book. I do not write it, my friend.
All right. Well, I have another question then. So if you have lived in Barovia your entire life, Big Barovia, and this is where you're from, are you familiar with any legends of any towns that have been drowned by a river that might be underwater? Did you have one of those things where they need an extra aquifer, so they make a dam and they just say, oh, sorry, there's a town there. It's going to be under a lake now. Deal with it.
Well,
That
one of those?
happens.
I do not travel much, but why don't you roll a persuasion check?
Oh, great.
Broldish.
Yeah, Brildish. Well, my persuasion's, not great. Not great.
Not great.
Oh, but I rolled a 19, so that becomes a 21.
Well, usually I prefer to let my fortunes speak for themselves.
I
But
think
you are
it spoke
new
very
here,
well.
And
It
you
told
seem
me what to
you
ask.
seem promising. I will tell you, in our time there are 3 villages in Barovia. There is Little Barovia, Valaki, and Kresk. Legends tell of a 4th village, one that ran afoul of the devil, and that he drowned with a river. It is in the center of the valley. You may need to search for it there. It is said to be a cursed place, relative to the other parts of Barovia, which are also real bad.
Has the devil always been here?
As long as anyone can remember.
Have you ever met the devil, Madam Ava?
I would prefer not to talk about him in specifics. It makes me feel ill at ease.
It certainly seems as though we have our work cut out for us. There are many avenues that we could pursue in order to better equip ourselves for this seemingly inevitable confrontation.
I will tell you, the Vistani are not what the people of Barovia will tell you about them. and you are safe here for today under my protection. But other Vistani you meet in the world, some of them may be friend and some of them may be foe. Many of my people hold the devil in high regard, and he demands certain services of them.
Hmm.
I do not know of a drowned village, but there is a abandoned or perhaps still active, I'm not exactly sure, abbey up in the mountains. I have never been there, but I know the way. And there is also, well, I know of one winery. It might not be the one that we're looking for, but perhaps it may be.
Yes, I think I too have heard stories in my brief travels. Someplace near Kresk, was it?
Yes. Yeah.
That seems...
Which you, the two of you both know is far to the western side of Barovia. Big Barovia.
Yes. It is a long and arduous journey. No doubt dangerous as well.
Probably like at least 6 or 7 wolves between you and there.
Are we closer to central Barovia right now? Southern?
You are on the very edge of eastern Barovia. Big Barovia. Do you want me to take you back to the world map?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
That would be
all
helpful,
right.
yeah.
I'm going to say Madam Eva bids you well, and you are, continuing your conversation off in a little huddle outside her tent. How's that?
Yep. Wait, before we go, can I ask her if we're safe to stay the night here?
I think she specified that, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
So, yes. So you don't have to go.
Well, safe to stay daytime here is one thing. Safe to stay the night somewhere in Barovia is
You've got
different.
24 hours.
Okay.
Here's
my hall pass. Yeah.
So, just to specify, and Delina would probably know this quite well. Crucible might know it a little bit. You are basically right now in the southeast corner of the land of Barovia, Big Barovia, which is kind of a valley between these immense mountains. But it is, in addition to being kind of surrounded by mountains, it's also basically impossible to leave the valley due to the mists.
Yep.
And anyone who attempts to just finds themselves wandering back in the opposite direction out of the mist. So the village of Barovia is on the eastern edge of the land of Barovia. Valaki is basically in the center, and Kresk is far to the west. The old Svalich Road kind of runs east to west, a little bit to, and it also kind of cuts down to it kind of goes from going east-west to north-south on this side of the valley. You also, I think you know that the Castle of the Devil, which Madam Eva has referred to as Castle Ravenloft, I'll reveal that on the map. You have seen it kind of overlooking Barovia.
So, Tony,
Yes.
Have I heard of a drowned village in my travels at all?
Give me this is going to be a pretty challenging history check. Give me a history check.
Okay.
Crucible could also try.
That's a crit fail.
Okay. Yeah, tell me something that you think you know.
I am pretty sure that it is, God, I don't know. I feel like I don't know the setting well enough to know something that I would think about it.
You know the story of the town of Bartok. It was conquered by werewolves, and the rains fell and drowned it.
Yes, I have heard this.
Totally a plausible story that you have told many other people.
Yeah.
Crucible's background is actually archaeologist, so
So you love drowned cities, is what you're saying?
he studies ruins and stuff, like as part of his in service to his god, and especially ancient artifacts. But he's collected something while he's been traveling.
How do you feel about cursed ruins?
I love it. The more ruined, the better.
Give me a history check with advantage, Crucible.
That is a 20.
You have not been there, but you have heard mention of the town of Barez. You are not sure how to get there. You've heard reference that it is somewhere in central, kind of the center of the valley, but the old Svalich road does not go there.
Does this
really
road,
like this.
Crucible and Lena, does this road follow the river? Because if this drowned city was drowned by a river, maybe this is the river that drowned it. And if we follow the river, we'll find the drowned city.
Whoa.
The road does not follow the river. It crosses the river heading north.
It is
No,
also
we should follow the
it does
river.
run the
Unwise.
entirety of the
Yeah.
valley.
From what I have heard, it is also unwise to leave the road.
Oh.
We may have to eventually if we are to find our way to these places, but for the moment, it might be wise to stay on the more traveled paths.
Yes, certainly as we gather more information. We should not head out unless we are absolutely certain and prepared.
I think perhaps our best
Agreed.
course of action would be to stay the night in the Vistani encampment and then set out early in the morning for one of the several mentioned locations. It seems as though there are a plethora of options.
I just really want to get that sword. I feel like Lena would do a great job wielding it.
Lena, gives a tiny smile. Just a
Wow.
little bit of a smile.
Wow. Although I probably didn't notice it, but still. Wow.
I probably didn't either, but I meant it just the same.
Yeah, she's mad at you that you wouldn't flip the card and you made a horse do it. You lost some face with Lena, I think.
Tony Sindelar, your dungeon master, is also mad.
Nothing we can do about that.
But what can you do?
Yeah, I think that we have the most clues pointing us to Kresk, which is
Yeah.
where
Kresk.
Kresk, where the
Krensk?
there is
Kresk.
Anne Abbey. There is Anne Abbey and a winery. And
Yes, that
they're
would be
probably
2 of our several goals, which seems like a good combination.
but it
I
is
mean-
also the farthest
Well, perhaps
that
we
it could
stop
possibly be.
We could stop in Valaki and see what there is to see there. En route.
And
Lena,
ask
do you have
people.
Lena, do you have any feelings about Valaki?
Every time anyone says Valaki, she kind of her face goes more blank than usual.
The blankest.
The
The
blankest.
blankest.
Mhm.
She
Okay.
None
small
more blank.
shudders.
None more blank.
Mm.
None more blank.
All right. So it is getting to be mid-afternoon. Time flies when you're having your fortunes read, and the Vistani are still having a grand old time in their little encampment here. You know that the path leads west from the Vistani encampment, which is kind of a path back to the main road. I'm just going to reveal more of the map for you because why not? So you could head out, but it's probably safer at this point. You know that it's far enough to Valaki that you might be best off waiting until the next morning and heading out
Yeah,
at first light.
let's do that.
Is there
I would
anything?
like to stay and enjoy the music and
Okay.
maybe
Take
learn
an
a little bit
official long
about
rest.
Barovian cooking, like on
Mhm.
campfires and stuff, because we might be stuck outside at some point.
All right, the Vistani seem to kind of welcome you. It seems like guests of Madame Eva are well regarded, and you get food. There's plenty of singing and dancing, which for you to be present for or participate in, and then
Thump,
not.
thump.
or not. After dinner, it seems to be the they kind of do some storytelling. I don't know if you have any interest in that or not.
I ask
yeah,
if there are
Absolutely.
any yes, but I also ask around, maybe during the dancing or whatever,
Mhm.
if there are any orcs in this land.
One of the Vistani says, "What's an orc?"
I guess that's not, but then Breldish will go into very great detail about how terrible and awful and bloody orcs are and how ugly and stinky and dirty they are and describe them in great detail.
The Vistani, he's kind of a big burly guy. He's got lots of tattoos on his arms, and he nods. He's like, they say Barovia is awful, but there are no orcs in Barovia. Please update your list.
Yes, orcs. Alrighty, got it.
All right, and as the evening is kind of winding down, the music is playing, and one of the kind of older Barovians it starts telling a strange story over the music. I don't know if any of you care to listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to listen.
Yes,
Yes.
we want to
All
listen.
right.
Story. Story.
Listeners, I apologize in advance if this is lame as hell. Here we go. So he's kind of swaying back and forth, and he's going to tell you this traditional Vistani rhyming story.
Oh my God, yes.
Friends, gather round, and I will tell you a story I know. I remember it like it was yesterday, though it was a year ago. A wizard came to Barovia, a smiling man. He thought to unite the people, or so was his plan. A wise wizard, a seasoned sage, but he did not know Barovia, he did not know our ways. If he knew Barovia, he would know that you cannot fight the devil, for when you fight the devil always wins. But he gathered up the farmers and the peasants and the town folks full of terror and fright, and he led them up the mountain to Castle Ravenloft to challenge the devil to a fight. The wizard, he thought he had powers like no other, and I thought to myself, if only this wizard had known my mother. My mother was a kind and wise woman. I remember her words she always told me. She told me that when you fight the devil always wins. And the wizard fought the devil Strahd, but his plan was surely flawed, for the peasants had no brawn, and they scattered as the fight raged on. The hills and valley shook with thunder, and the rocks fell as Barovia, little Barovia, was torn asunder. The wizard's magic was strong as he and the devil wrestled, and in the end, the wizard, he was nothing special. For the devil fell upon him and cast him down into the river Illis, where he would surely drown. And as I saw this hero fall 1,000 feet down to the water, I thought, if only he had known my father. My father, he was a fool and a drunkard, but even he knew enough to always tell me these words, that when you fight the devil always wins. I went down to look for the wizard's body without delay, but the river Illis had swept the corpse away. And so, when we remember, whenever the shadows close, we travelers, we Vistani, are who the devil chose. A blessing and a curse, but the Barovians, they surely have it worse. Our ancestors earn his favor, and so we serve his needs, and we never question the devil or his dark deeds. We do this to answer for our sins, and because we know that when you fight the devil always wins. There's a lot of Vistani cheering. It's perhaps unsettling.
I cheer as well.
Crucible just takes it in.
I like
This
a good
is-
cheering.
Honestly, Elevor's just still really kind of bothered by it. Like, so one person's telling us we're supposed to go off and fight the devil, and then now we're hearing from everybody that there's no point in fighting the devil because when you fight the devil, you always lose.
I don't know that she's telling us to fight the devil so much as if we want to leave, it's the only way to do it.
I mean, if you want to settle down and like raise a family and stuff here in Barovia,
Split the party.
she's probably
Split
good with
the
that.
party.
Half of the adventure is just the new adventures of Elevor in town,
settling
trying to
down.
find an
Babies.
apartment, trying to get some furniture.
Yeah, have you ever tried to get an apartment in Barovia when you have no references?
There's nothing good
Felivor?
on Strahd's list, let me tell you.
Look, I would build a house of vines and I would be fine, but that's beside
Have you
the point.
seen the vines here?
Yeah, the vines are bad. Just trust me, there's a whole chapter in the book on vines. They're
way
bad.
more than 6 seconds long. They take
Yeah.
forever.
Yes.
They're not funny.
I
The
would
only
turn-
thing is that there are no ants on them.
Yes. That's the one
I
good
would
thing.
become a direwolf and live with the direwolves. I'd
They
be
do
fine.
seem to hang out and follow the emissary of the devil, so there's that. So,
I
but
want to
look,
avoid the devil, so I will turn into a dire wolf and kick it with his emissary.
there's no bad
Look,
ideas when we're
Keep your
brainstorming.
friends close and your
don't
enemies closer.
Yeah. And so, as Elevor has pointed out, you have received some conflicting information about the nature of Barovia, Big Barovia, about the Devil Strahd himself, about the perils throughout this land, and perhaps even the dreaded Castle Ravenloft that sits on the hill above Barovia, Little Barovia. And so the question is, what will our adventurers do? Will they turn back? Will they settle? Will they leave the life of heroism for quiet lives, soon to be murdered in Little Barovia? Or will they seek a higher calling? Will they answer the call of adventure and seek to confront the devil himself? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.